With subtle inspirations seeming to come from both The Matrix and Tron, is the Peripheral going to tread familiar ground or create something new and original for fans of virtual reality stories? Stick around and I'll share my thoughts anyway. I'm Peter Franson from christiangeekcentral.com and Spirit Blade Productions. This is my uncut review of The Peripheral, Season 1 premiere on Amazon Prime. The synopsis on IMDb says, set in the future when technology has subtly altered society, a woman discovers a secret connection to an alternate reality as well as a dark future of her own. And the episode 1 description reads, Flynn Fisher is a brilliant gamer who works a dead-end job to support her brother and ailing mother. When her brother enlists her help in an advanced game, Flynn sees something she shouldn't, bringing danger to the family's doorstep. All right, so what is this basic animal? Given the name Flynn, and the spelling, which I think is the same as in the movie Tron, along with some visual elements that remind me of The Matrix, I mean, I think I can guess at maybe some possible inspirations, but The Peripheral really feels like its own thing so far, which I really appreciate. It's listed as a sci-fi suspense drama, and I think that description fits pretty well. After the initial setup of Flynn's motive to take care of her mom, the rest is a mystery that's kind of slowly unfolding. There's intrigue, and she's putting herself in more and more danger for the sake of her family. So for me, it's a good character motive that justifies her actions and kind of like provides a reason that we can get behind for her to put herself in the danger of this mysterious sim world. And despite being, a mystery that is kind of being slowly revealed, that shouldn't be interpreted as the show being slow. It didn't feel slow to me. I was really engaged all the time, and there's recurring strange elements of the sim world and visual effects that accompany them that are interesting to look at, and they also kind of tease. They're not just eye candy, they're also like, oh, what is going on there? So you're having these moments that are hinting at these future revelations, and I don't get the sense that, like, say, Lost or other similar shows that are, just being weird and mysterious for the sake of being weird and mysterious. No, it seems pretty clear to me that this show knows where it's going, it knows what the mystery is, and I'm on board for that because I find it very intriguing at this point. And despite being, a suspense drama, that's not to say it's devoid of action. There are bits of action, but the focus is not on making them spectacular, like, say, in Ready Player One or The Matrix, but really making them intense, and feeling the tension of those moments. And so I appreciate that. Oftentimes that is more useful to me and more engaging to me than the most outstanding eye candy you can put in front of me. So I'm very engaged with the story at this point. As far as the cast, Chloe Grace Moritz stars as Flynn, and while I still struggle to not see her as Hit Girl from the Kick-Ass movies, her performance so far really has been solid. The rest of the cast works for me too, although there hasn't been in this first episode a lot of truly intense emotions in the story to give me a sense of the true range of these performers. But so far, for what everyone is being asked to do, I think they all work well for me. As far as stunts and visuals go, I won't comment much on the stunts. There's not a ton of stunt work at this point. The visual style of this pilot feels very intentional, especially when you're inside the world of the sim. It's stylized almost to the degree of The Matrix. Not done up quite that much in terms of how people are dressed, but and it's also updated to reflect current fashion. So we're not doing these kind of pseudo goth vinyl suits and trench coats and stuff like that from The Matrix, but it does have a bit of that kind of runway vibe to it. Everyone's kind of like wearing very stylized clothing inside of the sim. And in place of the green tint of The Matrix, the Peripheral sim world seems to be tinted copper a bit. It's a color scheme that actually, if you've played the video game Deus Ex Human Revolution, it reminds me of that color scheme. But yeah, characters and avatars inside the sim also feel very dressed up, tailored, and otherwise ready for the runway. So while the type of movie is very different, I still do get some interesting Matrix vibes every now and then. The visual effects also look very impressive to me, falling well within the top tier of premium streaming service shows and high-quality theatrical movies. So this one is a real treat for the eyes in both the visual effects, visual design, and the cinematic qualities of the camera work, which use some focus effects and just some other little like subtle techniques that elevate this in terms of how much it looks and feels like a cinematic or a theatrical release product. So I'm very happy with just kind of visually how this thing is coming across. As far as themes, you know, I always like to ask, is there anything of moral, philosophical, or spiritual significance going on in the themes of this thing that might trigger some worthwhile thought or conversation? It's hard to say at this point what themes they might be playing with yet. I'm not seeing themes similar to other virtual world stories yet, such as, you know, the whole waking up to reality theme of the Matrix, and of course the other rich philosophical themes that were crammed into the Matrix trilogy. So I'm not really seeing that, or really the relational themes of Ready Player One, which kind of emphasized the importance of, you know, real flesh and blood interactions with other people instead of just always being in a virtual world. It doesn't seem like it's kind of making any of those kinds of commentaries. This virtual world so far is not about a power fantasy. Now, it may become that in future episodes. I can imagine that being the case, but right now it's not about the power fantasy. This is, if you were to compare it to the Matrix, you know, the first, you know, opening 45 minutes where he's in the Matrix, but he is a fish out of water, you know. So will it change? I don't know, but I'm interested to see. This is a dangerous place right now that Flynn needs a strong motive to enter. But I will say, just on the topic of themes, that between the fact that she's caring for her ailing mother, that she's dealing with the flaws and some of the self-destructive tendencies of her brother, I think that Flynn is positioned well in the Peripheral to be used to express some themes about family relationships, you know, and just kind of like being committed to our family, even with the difficulties that come with that. So I think the pieces are in place for that, but I don't know. Time will tell. All right, now I have no idea what your tastes are in TV shows, but if I were a time traveler, I'd go back in time and say, Peter. Okay, well, you already have Amazon Prime, so watching this is just kind of a no-brainer, but you're like it enough that you may want to wait until every episode of at least season 1 is released, instead of watching it week to week as they kind of drip feed new episodes, as that seems to be what they have planned. But you might want to wait because, man, by the end of the pilot, you're going to be ready to start right into episode 2. And if all the episodes feel that way, it's going to be really hard to wait from week to week to watch a new episode. So anyway, this one's rated 16 plus for foul language, violence, alcohol use, smoking, and substance abuse. And those are all my thoughts for now on the series premiere for The Peripheral on Amazon Prime. As always, I'd love to get your thoughts and reactions in the comments below. Please like, share, subscribe, click that bell to stay connected. I want to thank the Spirit Blade Insiders for making so much of my content possible. You can get info about the benefits of joining over at patreon.com/SpiritBladeProductions. Then I hope you will check out our podcast and stay connected to all CGC content over at christiangeekcentral.com as we continue to geek out and seek the truth. It is time again for Christian Geek Central's annual Game Save event, fundraising for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital, which provides free treatment for children facing life or death circumstances and shares its cutting-edge life-saving research with hospitals all over the world. You're still welcome to join the Game Save team by following the link in the description below. And once again this year, I'm drawing attention to our team's fundraising by performing a 24-hour marathon of video gaming that I will stream live on youtube.com/Christian Geek Central beginning 6 a.m. Pacific Time on Saturday, November 5th. You can donate or get more info by clicking on my fundraising page in the links below, where you'll also find incentives and rewards for doing so. For $5, choose a topic for me to share my sometimes overly strong opinions on during my live stream. For $10, you get the previous reward and a download code for a free copy of the Spirit Blade Special Edition audio drama. For $20, you get the previous rewards and you can choose a game for me to play during my November 5th live stream, pick a favorite, or torture me with something terrible or rage-inducingly difficult. For $30, you get the previous rewards and you can choose a song for me to sing during my November 5th live stream, pick an old favorite of yours, or just make me humiliate and torture myself with something no one wants to hear. And for $50, you get the previous rewards and a download code for every MP3 product at spiritblade.com. That's a $90 value. On top of that, I have set fundraising milestones that will unlock strange and unusual happenings as I reach them. At $200, I'll have a free download day for everyone who visits spiritblade.com on November 12th. And as my total goes beyond $200, I'll unlock increasingly more content for the free download day. And depending on how far beyond $200 my fundraising goes, during my November 5th live stream, I will cover my face in peanut butter and jelly while talking about horror movies, put on a pair of frozen socks and a frozen t-shirt at the same time, shoot water up my nose with a turkey baster, and have my wife Holly play a video game with me for 30 minutes. And if I reach a personal fundraising total of $500 or more, I will resume and complete, before the end of the year, my live stream Let's Play series for Fallout New Vegas as a Terminator. I like your gun. Attempting to do so in a single sitting. That could take as much as 20 hours or more based on how long tobeat.com averages. We will find out together if I reach $500. Finally, if I reach my $500 goal by the end of Thursday, October 20th, I will do a 4-hour live stream before the end of the year, playing only the most frustratingly difficult games in my collection. Since my last Get Good live stream, I've added some more titles to the list that will probably be like beating my face against a wall, and you can bring that about if you help me reach $500 by the end of October 20th. Now, there are some stipulations and time limits on those rewards and milestones, so quickly follow the link below to my fundraising page for all the details. I hope you'll be a part of helping me and the Christian Geek Central Game Save team do some good for some kids who really need it. And then please join me at youtube.com/ChristianGeekCentral for my 24-hour marathon starting at 6 a.m. Pacific time on Saturday, November 5th. Hope to see you then.
Oh my gosh. This is all kinds of wrong.